Check, check, 1, 2. Okay, now it's not fucking doing that stupid shit. Sorry, there was a malfunction. Okay, so I want to dive deeper into that video that I made about dimensions, but instead of focusing on dimensions, I wanted to go into, I mean, it is in the same vein, but at the same time, it's more about the meaning of life, I guess, visualized through geometry, in a sense. So here I've made that graphic a little bit better. You have the masculine circle right here, the feminine circle right here, and then the circle that the feminine created because she wanted to be God, or she wanted to rise up to the 13th aeon without the masculine. And so when you take the cube and you have it like this, you can kind of tilt your head to the right like a dog, and you can see that by default, this is the middle path that we ascribe to. You know, it's the mixture between like the fake pillar and the blue pillar. So, you know, that's how we get all of this fake happiness and fake bullshit. And so, again, this is just more abstract thinking, but just thinking through the stories with the geometry, I think it's kind of cool. So in the last video, I had kind of jumped from the 6 to the 8 without really fully fleshing that out. And so I want to kind of do that here. I suppose that the way that I would describe it, hang on one moment. Okay. This thing down here just keeps fluttering. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe it does that when I'm clipping. Don't know. Anyways, whatever. So once you I guess it's this prospect of when you realize that everything that you're doing is fake, and you realize that you're stealing some from the right, some from the left to prop yourself up in the middle in this narcissistic game. It's this shift where instead of this being the line behind the cube and this being your middle path, it flips to being the other way. And so at that moment, you actually make contact with the Father, who is basically void of our world, because Sophia didn't create our world with him. She created our world right here, basically. But once you realize these things, what happens is the Father, because you're making contact with him right here, he goes down into the depths and gets you. So he reflects that down here, and then it gets reflected back to you, or to the Father, I mean, right here. And then what you get from that is a brand new Vesica Piscis. And so the meaning, I guess the meaning of life is to go through this. All of these things need to happen in order for you, not being God, to understand these things, and you can get to a new place of wholeness understanding them. And so you're outside of the thought process of this, and instead you are viewing it from the mountains, if that makes sense. Trying to think if there's anything else that I had. Oh yeah, of course, the 8. How the hell do you get to the 8 from that? I have to look at my book for that one. So there's a whole bunch of geometry that basically comes into this. But I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit. There's some lines that need to be drawn. But essentially, if you take your... How's that supposed to... Well, no, I guess that's not cheating, because if I can start right here... Wait. No, that's incorrect. Where's that supposed to meet? Right there. So it's kind of cheating because I should do the geometry, the square right here. Imagine that there's a square here. There's some geometry that leads to that. Is that where that's supposed to be? Maybe that's incorrect. No, it's not, because that would be there. Sorry. I'm like thinking of these things as I'm doing them. Right. So then you get that guy as well. And you get that guy as well. It's not perfect. Yeah, I mean, really I need to have the grid lines. Maybe I'll take a picture. Maybe I'll take a picture, see if I can find a picture. Creation of octagon. Oh, none of these pictures are good. They're not what I want. Shoot, okay. Well, basically, out of these, there's a bunch of lines that get drawn across. Let me see if I can do those from that to that, from that center point. Dot to dot. Dot to dot. Okay, let me try that. Line. I don't want that on there. Dot to dot. Wow, come on. Same thing right here. So there's those. I need to learn how to do this. This one's hard. I'll just have to take a picture of this book, maybe. I mean, is that how you get it right there? Is that it? From here to here. Here to here. Here to here. Where's that intersection right here? It's not the same. Why is it not the same? Well, if it were... Oh wait, I think I'm just overthinking it. I am. Okay, right. And that's how you get it. So we'll do green. Why not? Big, bold. Okay. Thanks for being patient. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's how your 8 is born out of 6. 7 technically comes out of this. It's kind of like a square that comes out, and then there's a bunch of shapes inside of it. But to jump from 6 to 8 means you, I guess symbolically with the geometry, you go outside of this thought process. You go outside of the thought process that's held within these two circles. And you realize that what you're doing isn't correct. You touch the Father expands, reaches out, grabs you, reflects back, which then makes these two big ones. And then when you make the lines to coordinate all of that, you then get the 8, which then, of course, inside of this, you can draw the 8-pointed star. So, yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. It's barely making sense to me, but there you go.